Have you ever pondered the thrill of exploring a haunted mansion? Picture an intrepid group of young adventurers gathered together for an unusual night of exhilaration and spine-tingling intrigue. Their hearts pulsate with the anticipation of uncharted mysteries, their minds teeming with legends of unseen resident said to inhabit an eerily desolate mansion, ominously positioned on the crest of a hill. These thrill-seekers, a medley of the and the curious, are drawn together by a shared fascination for the paranormal. Equipped with only the faint glow of their flashlights, the click and flash of cameras capturing each moment, and the ominous presence of a Ouija board, they step the pitch-black abyss of the old mansion. All the while, completely oblivious to the bone-chilling horror that lurks in the shadows, ready to spring forth from the depths of the forgotten mansion. They embarked on this adventure armed with flashlights, cameras, and a Ouija board, unaware of the looming terror that awaited them. As they clambered through a shattered window, an icy gust of musty air met them. A sensation of disquiet brushed against their skin, making the hairs on their neck rise in trepidation. The mansion, an ominous silhouette against the night sky, stood wrapped in a shroud of impenetrable darkness. It was as if the mansion was a creature of the night, silently breathing, alive, and eerily aware of their intrusion. The utter silence that filled the mansion was only disturbed intermittently by the occasional creak of the ancient floorboards, a testament to the age and secrets the mansion harbored. The echoes of the past seemed to reverberate through the empty hallways, stirring the quiet dread that hung heavily in the air. A strategic decision was reached among them. They decided to divide their forces, a gamble aimed to increase their chances of survival. One group ascended the grand, almost regal staircase. The staircase spiraled upwards like a twisted spine, disappearing into the shadowy unknown. The other group, meanwhile, descended into the bowels of the mansion, into the cold, earthy underbelly that bore an unsettling resemblance to a tomb. The arrangement was simple, yet held a trace of desperation. They agreed to regroup in the living room after 1 hour. As they each ventured into the unknown, the mansion seemed to exude an unsettling sense of anticipation, as if it was a ravenous beast waiting to swallow them whole. The upstairs explorers came upon an ancient library, shrouded in the dust of forgotten wisdom. This room, steeped in the hush of lost tales, drew them in for their mystic seance. They positioned a Ouija board in the center of a weathered table. With cautious fingers, they commenced their questioning, piercing the silence of the room. The mystic board began to spell out chilling responses. Yes, James, murder. A chill coursed through them, prickling their skin like frost. Their interest sparked, they delved further into the supernatural conversation. My wife desired my wealth. I'm here, present. As the words echoed in the room, a bookshelf crashed, barring their only path out. Then, the grim reality dawned upon them. They were not alone. Meanwhile, the group in the basement stumbled upon a vast, labyrinthine kitchen. The place was eerily quiet, only the sound of their footsteps echoing against the cold stone walls. Dominating the scene, the fireplace and stove stood tall and proud, like ancient guardians of this gastronomic fortress. A sense of unease hung in the air as they cautiously edged forward, their eyes scanning the premises for something, anything, to satiate their gnawing hunger. Suddenly, a startling hiss from the stove disturbed the profound silence. As if possessed, the flames ignited, casting flickering shadows on their horrified faces. The knobs on the stove twisted and churned of their own accord, an unseen force manipulating their movements. The smell of gas quickly filled the air, the chemical sting branding their nostrils. Panic set in as they realized the danger they in. Desperate to escape, they lunged at the door, tugging at the handle. Their hearts sank as they found it locked. They pounded on the door, their cries echoing in the cavernous kitchen. But their efforts were in vain. They were prisoners in a gas-filled tomb. As the realization of their peril dawned upon them, they desperately tried to find any form of solace. Their hearts pounded like a drum, echoing within the desolate haunted mansion. The silence was deafening, the darkness all-consuming. They hastily tried their phones, praying for a miracle. But alas, their batteries were as lifeless as the mansion itself. Last line of communication completely severed. leaving them isolated in the heart of the unknown. A chilling wave of terror enveloped them, creeping into their every pore. Their minds were a whirlpool of panic dread, each thought more terrifying than the last. The prospect of their imminent demise loomed ominously over them, casting a dark, dreadful shadow. Suddenly, a sound broke the eerie silence. It was a cold, spine-tingling laugh, echoing throughout the mansion. The poltergeist. It was the embodiment of pure rage, its unquenchable thirst for vengeance chilling to the bone. It was ready to claim their lives. In the end, the mansion remained, its spectral inhabitant reveling in the terror it had unleashed. The dwelling, an epitome of fear and despair, stood on the hill overlooking the town, a silent, eerie fortress with an ominous aura. The group of friends, thrill-seekers by nature, had arrived with innocent curiosity, seeking whimsical entertainment in the exploration of the mystical and paranormal. Little did they know, their playful venture would swiftly spiral into an unimaginable nightmare, a terrifying journey beyond the realms of their expectations. The mansion, draped in an age-old eeriness, was a hotbed of spectral activity, with ghostly inhabitants that took mischievous pleasure in weaving a web of fear around their uninvited guests. The friends, initially titillated by the prospect of a harmless supernatural encounter, were quickly thrown into a vortex of terror, their laughs turning into screams, their excitement into fear. The night of fun they had imagined swiftly descended into a horrifying ordeal, a maze of terror from which they could find no escape. And so, the haunted mansion on the hill stands as a grim testament to their fate, a chilling reminder of the dangers of meddling with the supernatural.